Hey there, are you looking for a fast, simple, and reliable way to buy and sell your products and services? Guess what? You found the right place. Venmon.com is a platform that makes it easy for you to find, buy, and sell your products and services. Venmon is free for everyone to use and super easy to get started with. So get started today at Venmon.com. See you soon. Welcome guys, welcome to Venmon YouTube channel. My name is Seth, it's like Samuel, and I'm here with Malachi David. I'm not going to call his second name because I know I'm going to murder the name, so let me just say the name let me give the name that and not just call it. So he's just going to tell us about himself, and can we meet you?
Alright, good afternoon everyone. My name is Malachi Kaselchumfa David. I guess that was the name.
Yeah, Kaselchumfa.
Yeah, David. I'm a data analyst and at the same time a business intelligence analyst. I work as a research assistant at the National Institute here in Jos. I also work as a freelance data analyst with Unigeo Consult Nigeria Limited. I'm a student of World Queen's University, currently pursuing a degree in scientific computation in Python programming. I have 2 years working experience in data science, using data to tell stories and giving visualization and insight. I think that's all for now.
Okay. So there's been a lot of buzz around data science and the whole field of data science being like one of the highest paying jobs in the world. I think it's the highest paying job in the world.
Well, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say. So many people have been asking, okay, so what is data science exactly?
Just to give a brief definition, but again, data science is just basically a science that has to do with analyzing data, and then from the analysis we give insights and make predictions or future forecasting and giving models with the insights that we had. So basically that's just a little overview of what data science is basically.
So what does the data science do?
Well, data science does a lot of things. It does a lot of things, but it depends on what angle you're looking at it from. A typical example is you look at it, what you can use data science for. I think that's the angle you can actually tell what data science can do, because you can use data science to give insights in pharmaceutical sciences, oil and gas, e-commerce, education, as it were. So that we don't limit ourselves in our thinking or in our in giving what they can do basically. But I would still say a data scientist can do a lot of things. He can do a lot of things. It just depends on the angle you're coming from. So there's no limitation, there's no restriction. He can do all things basically.
I noticed something, right? Like in this part of the world,
Yes.
we don't value data that much. Like I was saying the other time, when you look at like all these Western countries, right, you discover that like they have data for like everything.
True.
Are you looking for data for what's the best selling type of shirts? Are you looking for data of what's the best selling type of car? Are you looking for data of when people fall sick the most, and which sickness the people have in this region has the most? Like, if you're looking for like data about almost every topic, there are a lot of them out there for you to pick from. But when you come back to this part of the world, like let's say third world countries, or is it an African problem? Like there's hardly any data available to you. So this problem extends to everybody, businesses, health, everything. So how important is data in business decision? Because if I want to know how my business is doing, or if I want to start if I have capital and I want to get into business, how do I know that which business you get in based on data? So how important is data?
Okay, great question. Data is very, very important. I saw a tweet from the governor of Kaduna State, Malachi Kaselchumfa, where he wrote on a board and said, "Data is the new oil."
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I want to believe that data is very, very important, not just for businesses, but for our everyday life. Because I think we generate data on a daily basis from our activities, from the little things we do that we take for granted. We're generating data. So the thing is, yes, like you rightly said, sadly, in this part of the world, data is not readily available for people to use. Even when they are available, there are still some restrictions surrounding them in trying to get them available to people. So one of the things we're trying to make people understand is for them to create the culture of getting data, both whether it's personal for your business or whatever it is, and then building data over time. I'll give you a typical example. Everything we do in life, whether it's from your decision as an individual or whatever you want to do something in the future, that's somehow related to data, because you cannot rule out data from interactions with people. You cannot rule out data from businesses. We generate these things on a daily. So like I said, a typical example is we are trying to encourage businesses or business owners to be able to generate data for people over time for their own business, because we will try to make them see the need for them to keep this data and why it is also important and what they can benefit from keeping this data. If I have a business and I know the number of people coming into my business to buy a particular commodity, it will give me a good futuristic plan to say, okay, Mr. A likes this, Mr. B likes this, Mr. C likes this. If I make a particular number of sales or the volume of sales has increased at a particular year, how would I know that? It's only when I keep that data, right? So when a business adopts the policy of keeping data, over time, they will see the benefits, because when they begin to make models or they begin to have future predictions into how much sales they can make, how much return on investment they can make on their business, I think we would begin to see that, okay, there's a need for people to keep these things. So again, the thing is, well, like I said, it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. It's not just about business owners keeping data or trying to get data. Customers or people need to be enlightened. So people need to see the need for keeping data. So I think it's a culture that we in this part of the world need to begin to adopt and create and then embrace too. Because it's one thing to enlighten people, it's one thing for people to buy into the idea. Some people are laggards. To take them time for them to see the need to buy into an idea and then begin to adopt that idea. So we're gradually getting there, and I hope in the nearest future so many data will be available to us. But again, there's also the back end to it. We also need to teach people data protection and why my data is being used for a particular thing, as the case may be. So you need to enlighten people and say, okay, this particular data is, we're collecting it from you because we need so information and things like that. So we begin to talk about things like customer analysis, sentiment analysis in businesses, as it were. So these things are very, very important. You can't rule them out, and they are very, very important. So we're gradually getting to that place where people would see the need for them to begin to keep data. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I know there are a lot of platforms that allows you to collect data, right?
Yes.
But then the biggest problem now is data points. So which kind of data should we collect for business? Which ones are important? Let me give you an example. Like, for example, I'm very passionate about this whole data stuff. So, and it's one of the reasons why I went into why we started developing Benmo, right?
Yes.
Because we want to help. Apart from the fact that you're just selling and buying on the platform, we also want to give you insight on how your business is doing.
Yes.
Okay, what are you spending on, and you in the business, what is selling the most?
Yes.
So we can help with that kind of data. But then there are other data that we cannot help with.
Yeah.
So, for example, you spoke about people coming to the business. We can't help you with that. We can help you like know what people are looking for.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But we can't tell the number of people that actually come to your shop to buy that thing. So that kind of data is left for you. So the next question is. So the question is, what data points should I collect for my business? What data points are important and what data points are not important? Because if you start collecting data anyhow, it will gradually go to the data problem. So,
okay, so about what data points should be collected for businesses, it still boils down to the kind of business you're into. But I think for the basics, just a customer's name, his address, phone number, maybe mailbox, as the case may be, and then just few things that has to do with his choice of buying a product. Why did you choose this over this? Does it have to do with pricing? Does it have to do with personal taste or maybe sentiment? And things like that. So I think for the basics, your name, your phone number, your address, your mailbox, and then the others that has to do with sentiment or choice or buying a product, so that we don't infringe on the customer's privacy. People are very skeptical. Some people are very rigid, as it were. You go to a store and then they ask you for certain information. If you're not very careful, not everybody is willing to give out such information because we know the kind of country we are in, as it were. But again, I think for the most, the bottom line is, once you explain to a customer that this is the reason you're collecting this data, that is also going to be for the customer's benefit at the end of the day, for the long run. You could just say you're using it for your analysis for the year. Yeah, you get. So I think it still boils down to enlightenment. You enlighten the customer while you're collecting the data, what data you want and why you're collecting. I believe once you explain this to a regular person, he or she would naturally just not even budge and then give you the available data that you need. So once you have that data over time, and then you begin to run your analysis at the end of an entire year, you will see which are your most active customers, which are in the middle, which are the bottom, and the others. So sometimes you can use such information for customer appreciation. You appreciate your customer and say, okay, this. Now, believe you me, once you appreciate the customer using the information that you've gotten from the customer, that customer naturally would just stay.
Yeah.
Would stay. He wouldn't want to leave because he knows at the end of the day he's been appreciated. Yes. So you can also use that for sentiment analysis, like I rightly pointed out the other time. Okay, the customer is always buying red gin. At a point in time when it comes to buy, sir, please, why do you buy this over this? Do you have affinity for this color? Do you have affinity for a particular brand? Do you have this for this? They'll tell you, oh, I just love Puma because of the lion, or I just love Nike because of the stripe or something. So it still boils down to enlightenment. Once you enlighten the customer and tell them what you're using the data for, I believe you both have a soft landing ground, something like that. Yes.
Okay. You spoke about something that was very important, and that was data privacy, right?
Yes.
Because we know that Facebook is taking a lot of fire because of the whole data privacy stuff.
Yes.
So, at what point should be okay? But let me rephrase that. Where is the crossing line between privacy and just regular data? Okay, for example, there was this story that was circulating, right, of this man that was using one of these e-commerce platforms.
Yes.
And then whenever he comes, he always sees adverts for baby clothes.
Yeah.
Like he always sees adverts for baby clothes. And then he was so disturbed that he went to the store and then he was complaining like, wow, why are they always sending ads for baby clothes? Is he a woman or does he have a baby? And then it turns out that his daughter was pregnant and then she was looking for baby clothes. But she did not tell him that she was pregnant. And then it was later that he told him, oh, it was because he had never searched for baby clothes. That's why he thought that it was he wanted
True.
And then that ended up exposing the daughter. Because if he had never searched,
it won't
it won't pop up. So the natural person to like investigate in the house is either the mother, which he knows is not pregnant.
Yes, yes.
So that means definitely it's the daughter.
Of course.
And then that will happen in her privacy. Maybe she doesn't want to tell me what she wanted to make another different
yes,
decision. So at what point should a business start collecting data, and what should be the policy for sharing that data to the public?
Well, okay, you see, these things are very dicey, truth be told, because at a point you feel there's data privacy. I won't rule that out, but on the other hand, too, I think there's a limit to it. That's the truth. These things it boils down to again to algorithms that we use on different platforms. Because to a very large extent, if I go on Facebook and I search for shoes, I'll be rest assured, even whether I like it or not, that maybe subsequent ads that will come to my platform will be shoes.
Yeah.
Because I have once searched for it. So the truth is, whatever you've searched for online has a way of coming back to you privacy. They use it for their businesses too. They use it for their models too. That's how the algorithm on the platform is set. So the truth is, there are certain informations some platforms will begin to ask me that I know they are already infringing on my privacy, which I wouldn't budge. But again, I think the bottom line is, at the end of the day, just try to be safe on the internet. That's the truth, because you can't say you wouldn't go online to search for things. The algorithm is there already, it's set. So whether you like it or yes, the moment you do a particular thing, it pops up. So you can't run away from the popping up things like that again. But again, as much as possible, just try to be safe while using the internet. I think that's the only thing I tell people. And if you don't feel comfortable about certain things, you don't have to go by it. Not everything that is trending is actually safe for you. I feel, if not for anything, your emails, they are not supposed to be, not necessarily, because I know to a very large extent, most companies use your emails to begin to send either newsletters to you or to send adverts and things like that. Maybe until you have to go and unsubscribe from such platforms.
And some doesn't even have the unsubscribe.
Exactly, so they don't even have the
Unsubscribe
options for you to subscribe. Once you send your mail and
You're
then
done.
it goes, you're done for. So a lot of people don't know some of these things. So again, we need to still enlighten people. There are certain information you're supposed to give out. There are certain information you're not supposed to, so that people don't infringe your privacy. And so that's just it. Yeah.
So now that's regarding the customer's part, right?
Yes.
Now what of the business part? How do you responsibly manage data? Customer data, the data that you collected?
Well, the truth is, a lot of businesses will tell you they don't share data.
Yeah.
But I want to sort of, in a way, disagree, because I, for once, I wouldn't want to mention some platforms, but again, I just discovered when I'm registering some information on my devices, there's always a link. I don't know if you noticed that. There's a way one app is linked to the other, one app is linked to Google, is linked to the other. When you go to the back end and check some of these things, there's always a link. So somehow, there's always an interplay from one app to the other. So again, I just feel, in as much as we hear businesses saying, okay, your data is secure with us, there's privacy and things like that, but again, I feel a lot of businesses are doing a great lot of dissatisfaction to their customers by sharing some of this data, because I wouldn't really say 100%, but I know most do that. So I think maybe there could be regulations from government and things like that, and then maybe they themselves will just have to know the point where they can tone it down a bit. But I can assure you that a lot of businesses share data. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay. So now, okay, for example, now I know of companies in America, right?
Yes.
That it just exists, just collect,
That's
manage,
yes.
and they extract information out of the data.
True.
Like they are billion-dollar businesses
yes.
with thousands of employees,
Of course.
and that's the only thing that they need.
Of course.
Just like that's why I guess that's why they have that diverse data.
Yes.
because of those companies.
Yes.
Yeah. So that brings the question. But when it comes to this part of the world, I think the biggest one that we have is is National Bureau of Statistics.
Statistics,
Yes, in Nigeria. Here, I think that's the biggest one that we have. And if you are a data analytic company, we really want to connect with you and get your own perspective about the whole business, about how you are faring, how your business is faring. But I don't know one in Nigeria personally.
Okay.
I really don't know one in Nigeria that solely exists to collect, that is non-governmental, that solely exists to collect data and then make analysis. So how viable is data science as a career here in Nigeria?
Okay, great question. Well, truth be told, I think a lot of people are gradually coming into the space. I think prior to this time, a lot of people didn't know. I, for one, I didn't know that there was a career or something of this sort. But again, you meet people, you begin to mentor under them, and then they tell you, okay, this is something that is in vogue or something, and then you begin to buy into ideas. But again, I think we're doing great in Nigeria. I would say data science has come to stay because I personally have met a lot of people. I've had mentors that have actually guided me through the few years of my journey through data analysis and data analytics. So I would say for sure that data science is a viable venture in Nigeria. Yeah, it is. It's a very viable venture. Then for the aspect of a company in Nigeria that is geared towards just collecting data, analyzing them, and maybe selling them out or something for analysis as it were. Well, I really don't know, but I think there are some private firms, something like KPMG, PwC, that although they are privately owned, but I think they run some analysis for government agencies, for banks and things like that. But I would love to see a time in Nigeria where we would have diverse companies, startups coming up, and what they are geared towards is just collecting data, analyzing them, storage, and then sharing them. Yes, afterwards. Yeah. Whether it's open source or paid, or as the case may be. So I believe we gradually will get there gradually. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and I would like to emphasize that please, if you are a company that exists solely to collect data, I'm really curious about this. I want to know how the business has been in Nigeria and how viable is the whole space here in Nigeria. So thank you, Malachi, for coming on the show. And I know you have an event coming up soon. I know you are passionate about raising the next generation of data scientists.
Yes.
Would you like to tell about it?
Okay, it's just my privilege. We're trying to bring Microsoft users down to Jos. When I mean Microsoft users, I know a lot of us have been using the Windows platform, and that is which is under Microsoft. But basically, what we're trying to do is to build a community where we'll have Power Platform users. So we're having a program next week, Saturday, on 13th of March 2021 by 4 to 5 p.m. We want to build a community of Power Platform users in the city of Jos, and I hope everyone listening now should be able to latch onto that platform so that we can actually grow together and transform our states. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, if in case you're still doubting the whole data science thing, let me tell you, Google this. Don't take my word for it. It is one of the highest paying career in the world right now.
True.
A data scientist makes more than a doctor. Check that out and get on the train right now. Get on the train while you can. So see you on the event date, and where can you find you?
On social media, but I'm more active on Twitter. My handle is @Chairman Kasel. I could drop it, but again, I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, Chairman Kaselchumfa David, but I'm more active on Twitter @Chairman Kasel. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
thank you very much.
thank you for coming on the
Thank you,
show.
Mr. Seth. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
Yeah, you've
All right,
been
thank you very
pleasure.
much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Alright, that's the end of today's episode. We want to especially thank Go Virtual Africa for allowing us to use this spot. This is the best co-working space in Jos Plateau State. You can check them out at govirtualafrica.com. And if you don't know what Go Virtual Africa is, Go Virtual Africa is a tech hub and a co-working space located here at the heart of Jos in Greenfield. So you can just check out. You can come always and just check them out. Thank you.